Shells with Reynolds trying to send one down the line there for Paul New, and the fullback Tommy Hartnett had to be particularly alert. Receiving the ball from Grace. It's a depleted looking Limerick side, a side which has already lost something like 11 players this year. So under pressure from the league's top goal scorers. Once again, it's Joe Reynolds. Free kick to Shelbourne. Pat Byrne then with Joe Reynolds beside him, trying to concoct something. So can Reynolds send in a teasing cross? Grace has let it by. Haylock was there, and finally it comes off Julian Lyons. Haylock missed it, and finally it was put away to safety by Julian Lyons. Byrne, a really well-angled shot by Pat Byrne. All was, however, going up and over the top of the crossbar. Well, regrettably, rather a desultory crowd here at Limerick City. Not too many fans around, really. It's weather for the hip flask. Pat Byrne. Ian Hill trading passes with him. Brown challenged by Milan, and that's going to be Shell's possession. Johnny Milan here, who scored against Shamrock Rovers last weekend. And for pushing on Pat Byrne by Paul Hogan, it's going to be a Shelbourne free kick just outside the Limerick penalty area. Byrne the taker, curled in towards Haylock, and Gary Haylock, did it cross the line? Yes, it's gone over the line. Pat Byrne's well-intended free held up on the breeze sufficiently for Haylock to add to his 9-goal tally so far this season, and the referee judges that it crossed the line. Swords nodded it on. A mistake has left in Swords. Oh, a real gift chance presented to him as that pass came wide across the face of the goal. Dreadful error, really, leaving Swords in that time. But in the end, it was quite easy for Jody Byrne. Well, Swords, I think, really should have made it 1-1. I'm sure he couldn't believe his luck given the chance. Haylock. Pat Byrne. Now Gary Haylock, formerly of Huddersfield Town. Reynolds. So Byrne once again. This is Bobby Brown. Milan trying to present a challenge to him. Bobby Brown is taken down by Limerick's number 3, and it ends up being a Shelbourne free kick. So John Grace poised and ready to handle whatever perils may accrue from this free, and he didn't look too comfortable. Brown once again trying to open one up here for Pat Byrne to cut it back from the dead ball line. Rod de Cours, Haylock. So near to being number 2 for Gary Haylock. Well, inevitably, Pat Byrne was the one who sent in that teasing cross. De Cours, Haylock, and outside. Grace from Milan. So wind-assisted Limerick City trailing by 1-0, striving to come on level terms before the interval. But the flag is up for offside against a couple of Limerick City forwards. Neville. Right, nicely judged shot, and Paul New, off balance, has put it outside. Brown. Hartnett dipping in. It gives it to the other full-back, Milan. Ray Duffy judging it to a tee. So with the wind whistling around Rathbun, it's Shells who break once more. Byrne. Gary Haylock. Again, there's Paul New on the left-hand side, making himself available. Gary Haylock having the strength to take it forward, and Grace produces a good save. So the player-manager with the throw. Haylock once again. Pat Byrne. Donald Lyons with the interception. inside the last 30 seconds of the first half. It has had about a half a dozen, I suppose, interesting moments. Ryan, back towards Haylock, Shells, Curley, New, a chance to clip the goalkeeper for number 2 on the call of half-time. 45 minutes gone, and it's Paul New's 11th goal of the season. Created by Haylock, delightfully cut back to Paul New, wrong foot in the defence, and it sailed delightfully over the head of John Grace. Shells 2, Limerick City 0. Well, Jody Byrne rather curiously opting to kick that ball from the ground. I think there was a call, perhaps from his player manager, to pick the ball up. Bobby Brown. Can he take it round Donal Lyons? Well, not on this occasion, as Lyons commits the foul. And Shelbourne once again have a free kick in what, from Limerick's point of view, is a very tricky situation. Pat Byrne, the free taker, off the goal post and put away, or is it? No! Oh, an incredible sequence of events as Paul New fails to get Shell's third goal and his own second. And Hill beaten on a strong run by Brian Swords. And if he looks up, he'll see that Barry Ryan is on his right-hand side. Neville, eyes down, all concentration. Oh, a handball that time surely by Paul Hogan. Neville. Good deep ball towards Paul New. Good looking chance there, so he's put it over the top. Well, a long ball into space. Finding Paul New, such great pace, but he couldn't just keep it down. Limerick City in trouble once again, and it's Gary Haylock trying to ray down in goal. Was he tripped? It's very near the penalty area. The referee was right up with it, and perhaps he just saw it as a fair challenge. Hartnett. But Limerick really failing to deal with the challenge presented by Gary Haylock and Paul New in attack. And this is Haylock looking for a third one, but it sails harmlessly out and over. Pushed by Duffy on Swords. Free kick to Limerick City, taken quickly. Des Kiley. Well, Limerick have only scored 7 goals in the season so far, and Barry Ryan had again stepped into an offside position, and it really has become dreadfully monotonous this afternoon. Decore's long throw towards Paul New's head, touchdown for Pat Byrne, on for Gary Haylock. It should be 3, but it's not. Decore's for New, for Pat Byrne, for Gary Haylock, and really, I think one of the top scorers in the league should have done a little bit better.
Come on, Ray! How about the push it?
Brown. Here's Ian Hill. Back dangerously, and it's Julian Lyons who clears his lines. Pat Byrne. Bobby Brown. So Pat Byrne, I'm sure, will be very pleased to take 2 points from Rathban and keep Shell's title challenge alive as Paul New wins another corner off the diving body of John Grace. But there's been so much pressure on John Grace's goal this afternoon. Curled in by Joe Reynolds. Goalkeeper is lost completely, and it's Anto Whelan who punches the air with delight. Shells 3, Limerick City 0, and Anto Whelan is the goal scorer. Well, it was cut in beautifully by the number 3, Joe Reynolds. Goalkeeper was lost completely. Perhaps Ray Duffy had just got in his way, and Anto Whelan plants his second league goal of the season. Pat Byrne, and that's on towards McNeville, just holding that ball up for New and for Bobby Brown to make a run on the right-hand side to add to Shell's goals tally, perhaps. And finally it was Johnny Mullane who just got the nod on it and waited for John Grace to come and gather. Pat Byrne trying to push up on Alan Shanahan. Bobby Brown had made himself available with that good run on the right-hand side. Here's Shanahan. Reynolds there just trying to close down the path to goal, however. Very tight marking Shell's defence in this second half. They may have given the odd glimmer of hope to Limerick on, I think, 2 occasions in the first 45 minutes, but they really have been quite mean about providing chances in the 36 minutes we've had of the second half so far. Jerry Chung, encouraged by the fans to go the other way. Back from Kiley to Chung. Letting it there for Lyons. Lyons against Pat Byrne. Knocking one forward towards Rod DeCours. Oh, and it's gone outside. So very near to being number 4 for Rod DeCours, the midfield player. Well, the message is for Limerick and to come and to join the fun, but I'm not too sure that the fans here are enjoying the fun so far. Back with the match. Ian Hill. Duffy and Whelan winding himself up to lob it forward towards Gary Hellock, cut out, however, by Mullane. Back to Pat Byrne, waiting for somebody to make a burst forward from the left-hand side. Paul News made himself available. Gary Haylock, meanwhile, is waiting inside for the pass to come into him. Bobby Brown to curl one across. There are a couple of players there. McDermott planted it for Haylock's second goal of the match. Lovely combined individual play as that pass came wide for Paul McDermott for a neat touchdown. Haylock's on hand, and that's goal number 11 for the season. 4-0.